NCAA. Pretty good.
He brought the whole box.
All right, a couple of announcements before we get started. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. Someone will be around with a microphone. Prior to asking your question, please give your name as well as your affiliation. We're joined here by Illinois student athletes DeMonte Williams, Andre Belo, and Kofi Coburn. So with that, questions for the student athletes. Down here in the front.
Jeremy Warner, Illini Inquirer. DeMonte, knowing you're maybe a minute away from the season-ending, career-ending, what's it mean for you guys you and Trent especially, to have another shot at this, have another game?
Just being able to, all games don't end the way you want it to end. We had a little scare at the end, but fortunately we was on the other side of it and just lived to fight another day.
Maybe for Kofi and DeMonte, you guys have won 6 out of your last 10. You struggled yesterday. Have you lost some of your swagger? Have you lost some of your confidence? Do you feel like maybe you peaked earlier and have lost some of that?
Kofi, you want to start?
Yeah, I definitely think we lost our swagger. I think we're a really confident team. We have great chemistry. I think that it's just the way the games went. We came out a little bit flat. We can't really do that. This is college basketball, and every team's going to come out with that edge, that competitive edge. So it's just up to us, to start right. Start the right way, start with great energy. And just play for each other. But our swagger's still there.
You agree, DeMonte?
Yeah, totally agree.
I think, Kofi, you had talked yesterday about not wanting that to last year to happen again. To get the first one under your belt, does that lift a weight or a pressure or any sort of release like that?
Yeah, definitely. That first game, especially in the NCAA tournament, it's always a tough one, and it might sound cliche, but once you get that first win or you get past that first game, things don't become easier, but you're more prepared for it, mentally, and you know what to expect now. So, right now our mindset moving forward is definitely way better than it was for the first game. Now we're really confident now. The freshmen seeing what it is. All the guys that didn't play in the NCAA tournament know what it is right now. So, it's always great to get that first win out of the way. Even as tough as it always is.
Joseph Duarte, Houston Chronicle for DeMonte and Kofi. Houston's identity is on defense with a physical style. I was wondering, for what you've been able to see so far in preparing for him, what jumps out to you on the defensive end?
DeMonte, you want to start that?
They're a team that's going to fly around and play hard, and we're going to match and do the same.
Kofi?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. We know their physicality, and that's why this matchup is really it's going to be a really good one. That's how we play. We play with toughness and tenacity, and the tougher team's going to win tomorrow. That's what it's going to come down to.
Scott Richard, Champaign News Gazette. Andre, I guess just what's the last 17 hours been like for the team? What'd you do last night? What have you done today? Just in terms of maybe getting over last night's game and getting ready for tomorrow's.
Last night wasn't the prettiest game, so we kind of just, like we've been saying, just enjoyed it. We won. W is W in a tournament like this. Move on to the next one, and we got back to the hotel off our feet, watched a little bit of the Houston game, kind of stayed up, watched a little bit of the other games too with the managers, coaches in our meeting room, and we just got out of practice. So we're just preparing for our next game mentality.
Hi guys, for Belo. People have such strong reactions, good and bad, to the way you play. Last night's an example. You turned it over a bunch and didn't shoot well, and then you look at the end and you're plus 18, which is kind of hard to believe, for me, given just the way that game was and how close it was. What do you make of, why the team was, first of all, plus 18 while you were out there, and also just the way people react to your play, especially when you make mistakes?
I just stay true to myself. I know who I am. I know the player I am, and I could really care less what people have to say. And they're just in social media saying things. They're never gonna come up to my face and say it. So I could care less. I know the player I am, and I'm gonna continue to do my thing. And that's who I am. I risk I take high risk plays, and that I feel like that's what separates me from other guards maybe. And like everybody says, it's sometimes good, sometimes bad, but like I said, I'm gonna stay true to myself, and I'm gonna continue to be who I am on and off the floor always.
I guess this is mostly for Kofi and Andre. What's the most difficult part of being able to turn around and recover when you have a day off and then another game in just 48 hours?
Kofi, you want to start?
Just taking advantage of the rest. Rest is the best recovery. Just making sure you get off your feet. Make sure that you're getting whatever you need. People recover differently. Most people use ice. Most people use compressions and stuff like that. So just knowing your recovery and just using it to the maximum. However long you need to use it for. Just getting a lot of sleep. Sleeping and eating the right food.
Andre?
I agree with him, man.
Hey, Andre, obviously not a great offensive game for you and Trent at the point guard position. I know they were pressuring you. What did you guys take away from what you got to do against Houston that does a lot of these similar things?
We just got to, once again, stay true to ourselves and do our thing and do what we do. We don't have to change anything. Just stay the course, keep our composure, and, just go from there. I think if we do what we do, we're going to be all right. We just, once again, got to keep doing what we're doing.
It's for Andre and DeMonte to follow with what Kofi said about getting the first win of that year in the tournament. Do you guys have a similar experience to feeling a little more relaxed after that, or how do you approach after you get that first one?
Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, like Kofi said, we won the first one, so it's kind of we got it out of the way, and now it's just next game mentality. We just preparing and mentally, physically, and all that stuff, and we just gotta. I feel like we come out and play hard. They're a tough team, so if we come out and match that energy, or even higher, I think we're gonna be all right.
DeMonte?
I agree with both of what they were saying.
I'd appreciate it if more than one of you would take this. But I definitely want you, Kofi, to take this question. When is the last time you guys feel like it was you had a really good offensive game, a good team offensive game, that it flowed well and everybody was pleased after with how it went?
Last time?
DeMonte, you want to start?
I thought you were talking Kofi.
Okay.
I think Iowa. I think we did a really good job against Iowa. That was the last game we played at home. That was the regular season championship game. I think that's the last time we really. That was the most recent game other than yesterday's game. Apart from losing in the Big Ten tournament. So I think that's the last one we had.
Kofi, just knowing that a spot in the Sweet 16 is on the line with tomorrow's game, does that change your perspective at all?
Yeah, absolutely. And last year, that's definitely one of the main reasons. It's in my mind every day. Last year we had that same feeling after losing to Loyola. That was another opportunity to go to the Sweet 16, and that's like I said, it's reflecting on that feeling, and not wanting to have that feeling ever again. Especially for these guys, especially for the guys that's not going to be here next year. Let's send us off the right way. You get what I'm saying? So just coming out with a different approach, a different mentality, making sure that guys aren't flat. That's how we lost to Loyola. We were flat and we weren't as aggressive. So just making sure everybody understands the reality. That this is the last game this could be the last game we were playing.
Anderson Kimball, Decatur Herald and Review. Andre, I know last night you and Trent had kind of a big objective defensively guarding Baptiste and Smith. When you kind of have that big of a role and have to expend that much energy stopping on the defensive end, does that kind of affect your offensive game? And I guess how do you kind of try to balance that?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I've ever played this much defense in my life. I feel like this year back in Puerto Rico, I had no defense at all, and in high school, freshman, no defense either. So I just kind of had to work my way up, So, and last year I kind of, did a little bit, but this year I've been taking that assignment a little bit more serious, and, I've been talking about doing whatever it takes to win the ball game. And if that got to be straight defense and 5 points, 6 turnover, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, plus 18. I feel like the plus 18 came from the defensive side. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just keep doing whatever it takes to win the ball game. You know, and I'm gonna let the defense, the offense come by itself while taking care of the defense.
Hi, Christian Jones, the Daily Illini. Andre, this one's for you. Last year, you guys beat Drexel pretty easily in the first round, and then this year it was a much tougher game. I was wondering, was the feeling in the locker room this year different from then?
No, I think, once again, a win is a win. We enjoyed it. We celebrated. Winning March Madness game is big time. Sorry, my English kind of all over the place. But yeah, just I wasn't too excited just because it's next game mentality. But obviously, I enjoyed the win. And once again, a win is a win. But next game mentality.
Adam Jardy with the Columbus Dispatch. I've gotten a lot of messages from people watching games all around the country that the basketballs seem to look different. Maybe they might feel different, bounce different. Do they seem any different to you?
Yes. Yeah, I think. I don't know about these guys. For me, as a point guard, having the ball a lot, the ball kind of bounces different from the other ones, and it's just kind of tricky because not everybody is Nike, not everybody's Adidas, not everybody's Under Armour. So when you're playing in your conference and you play with a Nike and Adidas ball, which is mostly the Big Ten is Nike and Adidas, and you come to a tournament, you play with a different ball, it can affect you in some ways. But once again, that was the first game, and we're kind of getting used to it, so it should be fine for the next one.
For DeMonte and Kofi, are the 16 offensive rebounds that Chattanooga got last night a concern? Is there anything that you guys can do to maybe clean up the glass a little bit from what you guys did last night?
DeMonte, you want to start that one?
No, we just gotta keep a body on the body and box out. We know this team loves the offensive rebound, and we gotta take on the challenge of boxing them out.
Kofi?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Like Monte said, it's keeping the body in the body. I feel like I said, yesterday's game was a really tough game because it's the first game, and it's all there all this nerves and emotions. I think right now we're more settled in, and we're more like we have that competitive spirit back again. It's been a while since we played a game. It's been a whole week, so right now I think we have that competitive edge where we're ready to go on, take on the challenge. We know how physical they are, so we're definitely ready to match that.
This is for DeMonte and Kofi. Coleman obviously had the block last night at the end of the game, but he's put a lot of good defensive games together. What does he give you guys on that side of the ball?
Kofi, you want to start?
He gives us versatility, the ability to guard multiple positions, the ability to rotate over and make big time plays like he did yesterday. With his length and his athleticism. But I feel like his most interesting asset is his IQ. He's a very smart player, and he's always in the right spots to make the right plays, and that's due to his motor and his mentality, so hats off to him.
Mike Berman from NBC Chicago. Andre and Kofi. Kofi, you just said it, that first game can be the toughest, and there's the tension that comes with it. What do you guys wake up feeling today? Like relief? We survived. Does it allow you guys to maybe play even more freely tomorrow that you survived a tight one and you move on?
Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, definitely. Today, knowing that we're playing tomorrow is definitely a good feeling, and we're gonna come out tomorrow knowing we won the first one and knowing we have a chance to do a little bit better than we did last year and move on to the Sweet 16. So definitely gonna give us a little fire, and we're gonna come out ready to play tomorrow.
Kofi, anything to add?
Yeah, when you're playing in the first game, in a tournament that's so important, guys tend to get anxious. It's like you get nervous. It's the reality. You have teams lose. You have higher seeds losing the whole week before you, and you see that happening. So you're definitely all over the place, your mind's like everywhere. You're really trying to get this one, and sometimes you're not as composed as you should be. But I think getting past that first one is really important because, like I said, it gets you the opportunity to settle down and know that, okay, we're on to the next one now. We got that first game in, we know the balls, we know the rims, so now it's just about going out there and just trying to get another win to get to the Sweet 16.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
Sure.
Are you typing without looking?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Last question for the student athletes, right over here.
That's tough. I mean, I'm on.
That's a tough act to follow, gentlemen. Question for Andre. Greg Bailey from ABC in Houston. What do you see from the U of H backcourt? And if you could maybe share a key or two that you're going to focus on in their matchup.
They're really good. I mean, overall, they're a really good team, and you know they're big guards. I think overall they're above 6'4". Besides that point guard, that's 6'1". So it's definitely going to be a good matchup. It's going to be great on that defensive side. You know, Trent, myself, Monte, Coleman. You know, everybody that could be guarding that guard position. And I'm not going to get into keys because you know they'll probably see it, but. Just gonna come out and play hard and you know do what we do.
Thank you, gentlemen. Nice job.
You got my attention, man. I'm locked in. That's impressive, man. That's impressive.